But to move on to Justice League, the Zack Snyder cut, Matt is the biggest fanboy for Zack Snyder here. Do you want to go first, or would you rather go last?
Listen. Just say no. I've got a talking pop culture. I've got a channel. It's still loading right now. 20-minute review. I'll get into a full depth review. I will. Let me just crack up my notes.
All the way in the crack.
Dude, like no shit. Look how long my review went for. These are all the notes I took.
Oh my
God. I'm not joking. My video goes for, look at that. My video goes for 20 minutes. So grab some popcorn. It was a 4-hour film, but yeah, I'll go first. I'll only do the main dots. I won't go through because I pretty much broke it down with all the new extra scenes. I just spoke about them. So I'll just go over like the whole in general. Firstly, the original score by Junkie XL made the film so much better. Bumped it up from an 8 to a 9 to me. I loved it.
I didn't like Wonder Woman's theme.
Yeah, I didn't like the women singing in Aquaman, man. When Aquaman takes off his shirt, jumps in the water, and
that was like weird.
He's groupies or some shit, you know?
Yeah,
what I mean?
it's super weird. It's weird. I love
the fucking shit. I was just like, right, okay, all right.
I actually really enjoyed that scene because the fact that they were singing in Celtic, right?
I don't know. I did say I did look over to my wife and said I wish I knew what they were saying. At least some subtitles or something, because
you don't want to know what they were saying. But and Matt, sorry to but like they were singing in Celtic, and the idea is that I mean for me the way that I took it, and you being a much bigger fan of this movie, but the way that I took it is that these people are basically closed off from civilization because of these awful storms and just in the overall remote area that they're in, and it seems like Aquaman. Is this one of the towns that he goes and like feeds them, kind of like the original town in which Bruce found them?
I don't think it's Amnesty Bay. Because Amnesty Bay is where his dad lives.
No.
What you're talking about, Carlos, is that's what I'm saying. Like, what you're talking about is when he's still in. Bruce is still there when those girls are singing blah blah blah. The other time when he saves the fisherman, I think that's a different town.
I think it's a different town. The bartender was different to the guy that was used in the first scene. Yeah, that's a different town.
Again, I just wanted to make that, I just wanted to make sure that I did understand that I understood correctly that there were two separate towns.
But, 100%, yeah.
Okay, but anyways, the way that they see him is as this, mythical being, like some kind of legend, and they're basically viewing him as some kind of demigod for what it is that he can do, especially because even though people, have gotten used to Superman, in the city and around like Metropolis and Gotham around there, these people have seen superheroes much more. I'm assuming than the people that have seen Aquaman, and in those kinds of towns and in those kinds of places, especially being Celtic, there's a lot of folklore that is still passed down from from generation to generation. And I think that they, again, see Aquaman as this kind of, god that they, sing to. And the way that a lot of these folklores were originally passed along this history was through music, was through song, was through storytelling. So that's why, when he's like going into the sea and these girls start, singing, I thought it was pretty cool, man. And it has that, again, it has that Celtic folklore kind of thing to it. So I enjoy that.
I think you should quit doing stock and sales, man, and become a history.
Become a singing teacher. Start singing.
You're fucking smart, bro. You're pretty smart. You know all your shit. Should become a teacher.
Keep going, Matt. Keep going.
Now, obviously, being 4 hours long, it didn't feel rushed. Like fucking the garbage Whedon gave us. Like shit, man. I swear, this film filled so many potholes. All the shit that people complained about that I don't know what to call the original Justice League because the first Justice League that got released, I'll call that Whedon's Justice League got released. Everyone was knocking it because of all the plot holes. Like, it was just fucking stupid, made no sense. Now, if those same people are knocking this, Zack Snyder's Justice League, I will happily Hulk smash them in the head because, man, this fills all those story plots. It had so much more emotion added to it in this film, like way more emotion. And I loved how it was the story plot and how it was broken up into the parts. It felt like then the epilogue, it actually felt like a fucking comic book, like you were reading a comic book. Now, I was a bit iffy and I had to look it up because I don't know if you guys know, it wasn't like widescreen, it was like fucking like a thing. And then I heard because of IMAX and all this shit, just the way it was recorded, like that was at the start. I was just like, yeah, I was like, what the fuck? This seems weird, but I got past that. More of, hang on. One sec. More of my boy. Little story about this. He came, probably 2 years before. 2 years before it came. Yeah, 2 years before the movie came out. Like they had pretty much just started filming. He came here to one of our Comic Cons. So I got to meet him. Unfortunately, he was like a last, like he cancelled because they were filming, and then he came like last minute because he had time, and no one went and saw him. I was the only one, so I got to sit down with him for about 20 minutes and have a chat with him. And as you can see, he says, my lips are sealed because I kept asking, what are we going to get out of Justice League? What are we going to get out of Justice League? And he wouldn't fucking tell me, but this bloke deserves his film. Warner Brothers need to just forgive him with all the shit that he said about Whedon and whatnot, bring him back and let him do a fucking Cyborg film because he was a heart and soul, and that's not way timing over. He will be the heart and soul of this film, and man, his scenes made me really want a Cyborg film. Like when they announced the Cyborg film, I was like, I'm not too excited, but after watching this, fucking give me a Cyborg film. And then you can also see on that topic why I don't know their names, so if you know their real names like Alfred and Cyborg, why they were so pissed off about Whedon. They got Jeremiah. They got cut out to the shithouse, man. And after watching this, you see how much scenes they actually had, and Whedon just completely disregarded it. Just fucking fuck off. See you later. And yeah, like I said, it exposed all the plot holes. But then the most important thing is that this film does justice to Superman. Like it really brings his character to life. Really shows you the hope. Whedon's version was shit. I like how they actually all agreed in this version. They all agreed to bring Superman back, and they explained it better instead of like, Whedon was just like really rush, and you didn't understand what was going on, and they all disagreed about bringing Superman to life. With this, they actually all agreed, which I really enjoyed. Now, I won't go through all my plot plots, but I'm going to scroll right down to the bottom because I just want to talk about the epilogue. Cyborg, obviously listens to his father's tape, goes to the grave, flies off, give us a Cyborg film right then and there. Aquaman, obviously, I'm going to see my dad. You can see that set it up, the Aquaman film. But the one that I do want to talk about, let me get to it. The futuristic scene. Okay, this was hands down the greatest scene in the movie. Don't it's just hands down the greatest part in the scene.
It just sucked, man.
The dream sequence.
Oh, the nightmare. The nightmare.
Yeah. The future, because I'm telling you, the future.
Wasn't good.
Mate, was it Deathstroke? Because I can't remember. Because I'm pretty sure Deathstroke turned around to Batman and said, "Have you ever loved someone?" I think it was Deathstroke that said it. One of the characters said it.
It was Mira.
It was Mira.
Mira. That's it, Mira. And then the Joker fucking bang, get the Joker. And I feel what people don't understand is but on a serious note, that is a love story right there. Those two are the perfect love story. Like I know, like it's not the people you gotta like looking at it as someone like they have so much history together. These two, they won't kill each other just for the fact that they love. Batman just like won't do the world. Batman can put a bullet in his head, like he doesn't shoot. Batman can beat the shit out of him.
Oh no, he went quiet.
Oh.
Damn.
So much emotion. It started to so much emotion that it glitched out.
He'll come back soon, though. It's just because the nightmare scene really wasn't that good, man. He's over here propping it up. I can't wait to talk shit about it when it's my turn. I hope he goes back soon, though.
Yo, Matt's passed out, bro.
Dude,
hold on.
Hey, wait, dude, real quick. You know what I picture of Matt right now? You know the scene or the meme where Captain America is in the elevator and all the fucking Hydra guys are on him, and he's going, get the fuck off me! I need to tell him that I understand that reference. Have you guys seen that meme?
No, I have not seen that.
You haven't seen that meme?
No.
Bro, he back.
That's pretty
All
cool.
right. Well,
All right.
Hey, you just kicked me, motherfucker!
Don't be talking no dumbass shit, and we all get kicked, man.
Yo! No, I think I'm trying to upload my 20-minute review video, so
we kicked you out, bro. We kicked you out.
No, the last thing we heard was it's a love story between Batman, and like that's the greatest love story, and then you got cut.
Okay, but that's what I mean. They don't want to kill each other. They don't want to like. But that dialogue, and I know I'm just in the chat group, and you're all but that dialogue between Joker. Batman, the greatest dialogue that has ever been put on a screen with Batman and Joker. And you can sit there and say, but what about fucking Christian Bale and Joker in a jail scene? Mate, sorry, but it was poetic. It was poetry in motion with what Jared Leto was saying and what Batman was saying. And the fact that we finally get Batman say, fuck you, man, you should, my missus couldn't believe, I jumped out of the couch, yeah, man, fuck you. Like, man, I was so psyched, so pumped from it. But Jared Leto, I wanted to see him in a movie with fucking Batfleck. Batman, Ben Affleck's Batman, I'm saying it now, the greatest Batman of all time. You can all fight me with it. You can all fucking disagree with me. You can all say what the fuck you want to say. He's the greatest Batman. I don't care. Okay, Twilight Boy might do a good job, but Ben Affleck, greatest Batman. And lastly, Jared Leto, Zack Snyders, 40-second version of him, best joke ever. I'm sorry. Listen, I'm an Aussie. We love Jared Leto. We love Heath Ledger. I'm a fucking Aussie. We support and we love our characters. I'm not going, and Phoenix's joke is completely different. He doesn't fight with Batman. I'm talking the best joke to fight Batman on the screen, okay, is fucking Jared Leto's. Zack Snyders. Not Jared Leto fucking Suicide Squad. Jared Leto, Zack Snyders. I'm done. If you want to fight me, come on, throw them at me. Let's go.
Old Captain America. I don't think I will.
Manny, you mentioned that we're looking for the new fifth member, right?
After I was gonna say at the end of this, we are looking for another member. Someone's getting kicked out soon. I'm not gonna name any names right now or anything, but someone's getting kicked out soon.
Australian.
Yeah, he's gonna go down under. And so if you're interested in joining this group, hit me up. At Manny Reads Comics, Instagram, direct message. I'll enter
yes, it is, Todd. See what they say about Americans. They hate being wrong.
Hey, guess what, Matt? There's 4 of us that want to use, so I guess we win.
Democracy. It's a beautiful thing.
Black suit Superman. Did you see when he was running out? Clark Kent had the black suit, not the normal suit. Man of Steel 2, we get black suit Superman.
It looked a little metallic-y, almost like bluish, but it was black.
And bring back the Snyderverse. Does that mean?
So, Carlo, I'll let you go next. What do you think?
And if you ain't got no fucking 10, my kids are 10 color, I'm a fly to freaking San Francisco. I'm freaking give you a big hug.
I'm gonna start backwards. I give this movie a 9. A 9, a solid 9. I'm not much into like sitting on my couch for long periods of time. I get bored, I get antsy, I just want to start moving. But those 4 hours, I didn't need an intermission or a pee break or nothing. I was just like, cool. So we have a good start with Wonder Woman doing her thing. It's kind of silly that she's blocking like a machine gun fire with the bracelet. Okay, that's a little too fantasy-ish for me, but it was still cool. I love it. I liked how, like, my favorite part of the movie, believe it or not, is Cyborg and his dad. They're going into the lab, and then the dad, they have this like nod. Cyborg is not like, oh, thank you, Daddy, for letting me in. No, that would have been too cheesy or too lazy writing. But it's just like a simple, powerful nod. Like, wow, that's like amazing. That was more like moving than like anything I ever saw in the whole movie. And then at the end, we have that dramatic fight scene with Steppenwolf, and I thought that was just amazing. Superman comes in to save the day, and it's like, wow. And then Darkseid's just like ready to jump in and do some damage, but the hole is closing. And it's just all throughout the movie, 2 thumbs up. And at the end, the Nightmare, I didn't love it as much as Matt did, but I'm a fan of every Joker that's been on the screen, small screen, big screen. I think Joker has so much to like. Your place is lucky because you can do so much. There's so many different versions of Joker, and whatever Joker version you're going to play, you're gonna do a good job.
Unless your name is Jared Leto.
Even Jared Leto, yeah. So like the suits were on point. The black suit Superman was pretty cool. But yeah, I have to agree that Cyborg and his dad, that relationship was just like, wow. Like, I want to know what happens. Are they going to make up? Are they going to go their different ways? And yeah, it's just all the way good. Carlos, te toca.
So on the Flash part though from the time stream, Speed Force looked pretty dope.
Oh, I'm definitely going to talk about that.
So Manny, like, I'm definitely going to trash talk that shit.
So I will say this: this film absolutely fixed, like Matt mentioned, fixed all of the plot holes and the just incredibly jarring feel of the first one, because the first one really felt like there were just scenes that were taken, from here, from over there. They were like cobbled together just to put out a film and make a deadline, right? The fact that Steppenwolf just out of nowhere had like 2 boxes or whatever kind of threw me off. I think that in the original he already had like 2 boxes or something.
The third box in the original, the first one, the third box. He just, when they fight Superman, they look in the distance and they see him boom tube gone with the box, and you're like, where the fuck did he get the box?
Exactly. So yeah, exactly. There were so many scenes, and we could literally spend a good half hour just talking about all of the plot holes that the first one had, or the overall rushed feeling. But some of the major ones were, again, that Steppenwolf all of a sudden arrives on Earth, or he wants to take over Earth, and you really don't know or get a good understanding as to why he's doing what he's doing. The whole thing with the boxes. Another major one was how Wonder Woman all of a sudden knew about Steppenwolf and Darkseid and this invasion. All those things that in the first movie you just have so many questions about. The Snyder Cut really gave solid flow and really gave a cohesive feeling to the whole entire film. And I really appreciated that. You understand that Steppenwolf is doing what he's doing because at the end of the day, this is an invasion, from Darkseid.
He's trying to help. Because Darkseid got rid of him because he betrayed Darkseid.
Why?
So he's trying to make it up.
Right, exactly, and that's what I mean. This film really addressed, why Steppenwolf is there and who's really wanting to do this invasion. The Joss Whedon cut, I mean, didn't really, provide any context. So
that sets up the New Gods because they want to make the New Gods film. So I reckon that kind of sets up in the New Gods film. You might see why Steppenwolf betrayed Darkseid.
Right, and that's and that's what I really appreciate about this movie is that, again, it gives you context as to what this whole invasion is about, and the fact that Darkseid was introduced and you see him arriving on Earth, and you see the Amazons, the Atlanteans, and you see humans come together along with a Green Lantern and fight off Darkseid. It gives better context and it gives more gravity and more weight to Aquaman and Wonder Woman and Batman and then Alien, Superman taking the place of the Green Lantern. Of again, all these heroes coming together. The Age of Heroes happening again, kind of how Diana mentions it, and they explain how it is that Diana came to have the knowledge and be aware that this invasion is happening. So I really appreciate again just overall that there's a lot more cohesiveness to the storyline. I think
General Sandwick for Man of Steel 2 is Martian the Manhunter.
Yeah, and that whole scene adds again a lot more context to why Lois was where she was at. It gave a lot more depth to the importance of Lois Lane and the part that she played in the movie. I absolutely loved Ray Fisher's portrayal of Cyborg. Because I'm not gonna lie, in the first movie, I thought he was the absolute worst part of it, and the Whedon cut did a really big disservice to him, the character of Cyborg, his portrayal of it, his representation. I thought he was the worst part of the Whedon movie, and I thought, man, Cyborg really will never be able to carry a movie, after this, but. The opportunity that he was given in this movie and how they really fleshed out his character, I thought it was great, and it propelled him to being, if not the best, definitely a contender for the best character and the best overall like growth and plotline of the movie. The overall best part of the movie, I think, to me, is still Batman. To me, I still think that it's Batman, just because I think this is the best portrayal that we've gotten of Batman leaving behind his anger and his whole thing of working alone and being solo. Yes, he's had Robin and Nightwing and Batgirl, but at the end of the day, even in the comic books and video games, he's still always, not fully trusting, and you can feel that, he doesn't really give himself to the idea of a team. Here in this movie, he actively, puts everything on the line to create the Justice League, to bring these heroes together. And I think that was really cool to see, that he ended up accomplishing his mission of bringing, everybody together. And that was just a nice and different part to see of Bruce Wayne and Batman. I thought that the overall action sequences and the fight scenes, I thought they were fun. Them fighting so many of like the parademons kind of felt a little, I don't know, a little empty. And that's inherent in a lot of superhero movies. You can kind of put that same kind of criticism in Avengers when they're fighting the Chitauri. Them taking on Steppenwolf was dope. I enjoyed that. The only criticism that I have, I guess, is the setup to Barry and the way that he ended up, accessing the actual Speed Force. I'm assuming that was supposed to be the representation of him, like accessing the Speed Force. But the fact that Bruce told him that he's gonna have to run faster than he's ever ran, in his life, and in order to be able to get the charge that was needed, for Cyborg, and you see him just running, fucking in circles, and he's supposed to be running faster than he's ever ran before. And then there's a parademon that's up, in the fucking mountain with like a blast cannon, that he happens to end up, launching a shot that ends up not just like knocking Barry off balance, but actually clipping him. I don't know, man. It really killed the scene, and it really took me out of like the whole sequence and what was happening. I thought it was kind of silly. That's just me. But that was my absolute like least favorite part of the film. But then it led into my favorite part of the film, which was that whole scene and the score to Barry, like running and essentially like rewinding time, and accessing the Speed Force. That whole scene was the best scene visually of the whole movie. Which is kind of funny that was my favorite scene because I gotta say Barry was probably my least favorite part of the movie. I like Ezra Miller as an actor. Even in the Whedon cut, I didn't feel him as Barry, and even less so in this movie. The whole scene where he has that interview at the pet daycare or
I think we lost you.
or whatever shop. I don't know, man. Joe. Huh?
We lost you at the daycare.
What?
We lost you at daycare.
Oh, sorry. Can you guys hear me? Okay, gotcha. At the pet daycare, that was just his whole portrayal there of Barry is just it was just way too different for me. And I'm always open to different, but I've never seen
question on that scene. Sorry, Carlos. Question on that scene because I think it was probably the most silliest part of the movie. Is do you think that the sausage was a dick reference, a dick joke reference?
No.
I'm just
Yeah. I don't think so.
It felt to me it did. It felt like that, but I don't know.
But there's one thing that I'm going to mention regarding that whole scene. But this portrayal of Barry is just so different from anything that I've seen in any comic book, and not that you have to stick to the source material forever, but inherently this portrayal of Barry is just I don't know, man. He's just a little too weird and too out there, I guess.
He's too geeky to me. He's too.
I don't know, and not that there's anything wrong with being geeky or being kind of like weird and awkward like a lot of times Peter Parker is portrayed, but I don't know, man.
That doesn't show his smartness in like CS investigation. That's what they should have done. Showed some kind of CSI kind of where he's smart at, but obviously he's not a CSI yet. So
you guys want to date him or something? You guys sound like you guys want to date him.
They did kind of show it when they were like around the table and they were talking about the plan. He was able to keep up. Like the only person that wasn't really talking was Aquaman. I mean, let's face it, Aquaman's he's not dumb, but he ain't the smartest.
Yeah,
we should forget every 5 seconds, mate. So don't worry about that.
And so that was my thing with Barry. But anyways, and going back, to the whole sausage scene. I don't know about you guys, and I've kind of seen online that there's somewhat of a divide. But the whole scene where he saves, Iris. Before I read anything online, and I was just watching, the movie. I watched it day one, dude. That scene made me uncomfortable, and not in a like I felt violated kind of way, but just in a more like weirded out kind of
fashion. His identity now.
No, right, but like when she's like flipping through the air,
and there's a hot dog right by her face and her mouth.
Yeah, like Barry was just a little bit. He was a little bit too weird, man, and the way that he like touches her hair. That had me like, what the fuck? Like it almost felt like they made it a point to make that scene feel weird, and like kind of uncomfortable. And the whole like again sausage thing. I don't think that it was a dick joke or a dick reference, but I don't know, man. Like my least favorite part of the movie was definitely the Flash. But yeah, man, I thought the movie was an absolute improvement over the last one, but I still don't think that it's a great Justice League superhero movie.
But he was the 5th member you said we're going to replace, right?
and the reason being is that for the caliber of heroes that we're talking about here, we're talking about the Justice League, man. Snyder's vision and the way that he directs movies, with the fucking sepia tones and just you know, he makes him feel otherworldly in a way that you don't really resonate with them. And the score and the music, especially Wonder Woman, dude, every time that she fucking like appeared, the score was just a little too jarring for me. And I don't know, man. I enjoyed it, but I didn't feel super connected to all of them the way that I would have liked. And the nightmare sequence, while it was fun, and I think it would have set up the next movie, it just felt a little ham-fisted, I guess, and kind of just forced in there. And the whole scene with Batman and the Joker, I don't know, man. While it was fun, Jared Leto's Joker just feels spoofy. He feels like
the poetic Joker.
Try hard.
Good, we lost him. Good. So you talk about.
Let me finish his thought. Let me finish his thought. He's over here trying too hard.
I'm here.
There you go.
But anyways, man, that's my overall take. Again, much better film. I just would have liked a little bit more out of Justice League. Overall, though, I give it a good 7.5.
Oh, the second film will be the dark. If they do it again, it'll be Darkseid coming for revenge.
Yeah.
They want the life equation, the anti-life equation. So it'll be Darkseid coming to get that.
But definitely a much better film. Much better film. Manny, what do you got?
Yeah, no, I definitely agree there with just looking at, like I was telling Nuno earlier, like looking at it unbiasedly, not if I liked it or not. If I had to compare Whedon's with Zack Snyder's is definitely better. But of course, Zack Snyder's was 2 movies compared to his 1. I'm going to start with the nightmare sequence. That right there, it actually cemented my opinion of how Batfleck is an amazing Batman fighting. His fight scenes as Batman are perfect. Like, they are just like the animation, any kind of like comics. He is a master fighter. You don't want to fuck with him. Definitely agree Batfleck is great there, but anytime he opens his mouth and he talks, I don't believe it. When he's talking to Joker, as much as I hate Jared Leto's Joker, because he's, like I was saying, he's a tryhard. He's trying too hard to sound crazy, like ha ha ha. Like, shut up, man. Just say your words. Damn, like, he was more intimidating than Batman. And Batman, it just seemed like he was trying, like he was puffing up his chest to try to sound tough and say, "Hey, I'll kill you next time." Yeah, no, I'll do it. I promise, I'll do it. Like, it just came up like, "Oh, I will kill you. I promise."
Can we kick the leader and the creator of 1 Month Later? Is that allowed?
We could end. I'm just saying, like, he said it as soon as he said, "I'll kill you." Like, watch your words. The fact that Joker was, instead of saying, "Oh, you know what, I'll back off," when he said, "I'll watch your words," and he just continued and was like, "Yeah, you sent Boy Wonder to do a man's job." Yeah, I mean, no. He's learned. He's lost a lot because I took everything from him. His parents, his son. Like, I just don't believe Batman is Batman. He's not intimidating as Batfleck at all. I don't like it. And then now moving from him to Jared Leto, Jared Leto has a good aura and he looks like Joker. He looks very well, but like they overdid his makeup, in my opinion, with the lips. And then again, he's overacting. Like, he just needs to bring it down one level, and he'd be a perfect Joker. But he stepped too far, and like it was just I don't. He's more annoying than he is scary.
This comes from a guy that recommended me the other day to watch Hamilton. Keep going.
Hamilton is amazing. If you haven't watched Hamilton, you need to go out there and watch Hamilton.
Hamilton is dope as fuck. Don't like Hamilton till you watch it.
See, and you know what? I have a note here to put this, and I was gonna not. You know what? Never mind. But no, you just said that. I'm gonna have my brother-in-law, who is in Brisbane. I'm gonna have him find you and just give you a quick punch in the face. He's like, and then just walk away. I'm gonna have him hunt you down. and say a famous line from Hamilton, and then punch you, and then that's it. No, but just Batman isn't Batman. I get that. So I get that he's been
there.
there.
Bruce Wayne. Do you feel he does a good job of Bruce Wayne?
No, he does a great job as Batman fighting, but I get that he's been there. He's been Batman for 20 years now. So like what Carlos was saying, how he's starting to not be as distrusting and starting to show more faith and logical plans and stuff like that. I get that, but it's not the Batman that we know. And like we completely skip the Batman that we know, and we get to the Batman that we deserve. You know what I mean? I don't like skipping. I want to see that. I want to see those 20 years, right? Moving past that, just real quick, Aquaman in the final battle, not against Steppenwolf, but right before they get to Steppenwolf, how does he keep up with anybody? Like when they had the whole scene where everybody was like Batman was going through the building and like Flash runs next to her and next to the car.
He's jumping. He's leaping.
Right. He just jumped. Are you gonna tell me that he can measure out his jumps perfectly to land next to them so they can do this little slow motion team shot, and then he just out of nowhere the next scene he jumps and he lands on Batman's car. Like, come on, man.
So that comes and you see the best display of him being able to do something like that from Aquaman's New 52 run, where they really display the fact that he has the strength and ability to do those crazy ass leaps.
Yeah, I get that he's strong and I get all that, but I'm just like, man, this guy he's just the Hulk from the 2003 Hulk jumping around everywhere. Like, come on, man. Y'all were talking about the Flash. So Flash has been my favorite for so long. When I saw the original Whedon to the whole died in my heart because it was just horrible. One of my least favorite scenes from the original was Flash going up to Batman and saying, and like this is a great scene for any other hero, beginner hero, where Batman says, save one person's life, you'll know what to do next. That's a great scene for any other hero, but for Flash to say, I don't know, I'm scared, I don't want to go do that, I just didn't like that. And in this, Zack Snyder really, really portrayed his powers beautifully. The opening scene when he's just running to go save Iris and he's stopping and he's crushing the ground under him, that was amazing. Like he really, when all he does is point at the window, barely touches it, and it breaks. Really portrays speed in a way that hasn't been done before. That it's the correct way in my eyes. He's being done perfectly, and I was waiting for that scene for him to say like, "Oh, I'm scared. I don't know what to do." But no, in this one, he immediately is ready to go. He can fight. There's even against Superman, he's able to just left, right. Like the only reason he got knocked out was because Superman touched him, which he's stronger, so that makes sense. But I didn't find the slow motion part weird. I actually really loved the music in that scene. Everything was very beautiful and slowing down. And, it is kind of weird that he's touching her. But that goes to my point of right before that scene when he's walking into the interview, he's petting that dog. And you see that he kind of goes in and the dog barks in slow motion. So this is the first time that I've ever seen the Flash's life shown in his point of view. Like his life is in slow motion. His life is constantly slowed down because he is that fast. He doesn't turn on his power. He's constantly moving at the normal speed that everybody else is, right? So like when he was going to go touch that dog, and the dog barked, it went slow motion. That was awesome. That's a very small detail that I really appreciate. So him just like, over there, that is his life, so maybe he is kind of weird in that aspect of like he's saving her, but he's going to take advantage of this situation at the moment because
I will say this, if you don't mind that I didn't like touch on, but what you're mentioning, seeing life through his eyes and the fact that he just like touched the window and then like shattered. So the scene to me did feel a little weird, but what I did enjoy, and what made it weird was just that whole little instance where he was like kind of touching her hair and just how she looked dead eyed. That just it was kind of weird. But what didn't seem weird to me was how careful he was with her and the way that he was touching her. That actually made complete sense to me because
he has to.
He has to because he has to. If he's not, dude, he'll fucking like break her.
Yeah, it reminded me of from WandaVision. Carlo, you were saying you don't like how Ralph was able to just touch Monica and she like went back. It's because he's moving so fast. That's what it reminded me of.
Kinetic energy, and I thought that scene and that portrayal of him being extremely careful with her and setting her down, folding her arms so that when he puts her down, she won't get hurt. I thought that was like genius, and I didn't touch on that, but just wanted to bring that up because I do agree with you as far as the portrayal of a different portrayal of the Flash's powers and what he can do, and the fact that he's the one that's slowing down, to be able to live life among everybody else. I thought that was greatly depicted in the way that he treated Iris, how careful he was with her.
And it also reminds me of Age of Ultron when Quicksilver was bracing everybody's. Oh no, not Age of Ultron. It was Quicksilver in the X-Men movies when he braces the neck right before Magneto's neck right before he takes off. He's like, I don't want to give you whiplash, So he understands that. Then, but all this. So the light speed scene when he breaks the through the Speed Force and he reverses back time. I could do without the dialogue, but that was just when the explosion was about to reach him and he just kind of does this and vibrates through the explosion. That was amazing. I rewinded it 3 times. I had to watch it again and again, and then I could do without the dialogue. I don't want to hear him say, "Dad, I'm one of the best ones." Blah blah blah. That was whatever. And Ezra is that his name? Ezra Miller. He cannot run. He cannot run, man. He's swimming, and I don't know why Zack Snyder didn't hey, man, let me give you some running lessons real quick. Look at Usain Bolt. He doesn't do that. He doesn't do that at all. That. So right before he took off, right before he took off, and he was crouched down. I was just that looks horrible, but it's still a beautiful scene. But he still sucks as Flash. You guys mentioned, you guys mentioned, he's still Ezra Miller is a great actor, but he's not the Flash. He's not Barry. If they would have said that that's Bart Allen, believable.
Just so you know, I bought this hat before the film came out, so it doesn't mean I admit that he's a great Flash. I bought it before it came out.
It's a great hat.
He's my favourite hero, so
it's a great hat.
I think he did a bad job too, but just so we know and cleared, I bought this hat before the performance.
You know what? I have my misgivings about the Flash show on the CW, and for the most part, I've had this love and hate relationship with it. But dude, had you thrown in Grant Gustin, I would have even been fine with it.
That would have been perfect, honestly. I'm sure he would have done a lot better. But moving past the Flash, this is I don't know if maybe I'm looking too much into it. The little thing that Steppenwolf uses to get information from people.
Mind reader, yeah.
Yeah, the mind reader thing. It reminded me of Starro, and it looked like a starfish. So I was like, is that a reference to Starro? Did they get that technology from learning from Starro's species? If you don't know who Starro is, it's like a starfish looking thing that can read minds, take over minds.
Batman's favorite Robin.
Yeah. Yeah, that shit up. No, that's not Star. That's Jarro.
Batman's favorite Robin.
That's Jarro, not Starro.
Well, but he's the same species, right?
Same species.
But he's a whole nother entity. Same species, but it's another person, basically.
It's a fucking toilet bag garbage shit. Let's move on from that shit. I don't want to hear about Jarro, Starro. Fucking worthless.
Jarro was one of the best parts of death metal, but then I was like, you know what, that does remind me of Starro, but that was just a quick reference. Wonder Woman's opening scene with her, I loved it. Carlo, you say you don't like the whole machine guns with the braces. That was amazing to me.
But it's good that they actually explained the terrorists, like the phone call and that. Like there's more.
Yeah, they never mentioned that in the first one. Cyborg, I can't believe you guys like Cyborg, man. He is annoying.
Oh fucking! Hey,
come on, man.
What you say now?
No,
I swear we're kicking you. I don't care if you're the leader and found out, we will kick you.
My dad doesn't love me and he turned me into a monster. I can do so many cool things now, but I'm a monster. Shut up.
I'm going to defend him here. Yes, he was upset, sad, but what about what he did to that lady that, he gave her tip change to the fucking poor bloke? He's like every man. Every man likes to act like big, tough, bad guy, but a lot of men are also soft and gentle inside, and that's what Cyborg is. He's a big, hard machine, but then he's also still got that human side in.
And that's great that he did that for her, and she deserved it for sure. What about every other homeless person? What about all the other people that need it? All the other strugglers? Why didn't he take money away from the people that don't deserve that money?
Because he's Cyborg, not Robin Hood.
I'm just saying, he did it once. That doesn't mean like he's an amazing character now. She did deserve it, and like I'm not taking away from that act. That's great, but like just like a hero, you save people, but you're not saving everybody. Or if you're just all you do is save people from catastrophes, you're not really helping the smaller. That's a whole different story. You can't really get into. I just don't like him constantly like, I'm a monster, I'm a monster, I'm a monster. Shut up, man. You got powers, get over it. You can do all this cool shit now. Your dad obviously loves you. He brought you back not because he hates you or anything. He brought you back because obviously he does love you. He wanted to save your life. Like, why are you such a baby? His whole walkthrough of him nodding, I didn't think that was cool. I was like, man, we get it. You're a big man. Oh, look at me. I'm with my homeboys. I'm gonna take over your lab. Shut up, man. I did not like Cyborg. He's the worst part from the first one. He's the worst part from this one. I hated him.
One of you boys over there just fly. Oh, actually, Carlo, when you move to Texas, give him a slap for me. Thanks.
In my last note, Superman is a savage. Man, he came over here and he not impressed. Just knocked him out over and over, and then he ripped off his horn, man. Like, why you didn't have to do that? You didn't have to do that, Superman. And he just ripped off his horn, and I will say I can't believe that he was actually killed by that explosion, the Unity box explosion. Like, he was deteriorated. That took him out, but which is crazy to see that Superman was able to be killed by the Unity box, the Mother Box United. He was a savage, man. He was overpowered. Like, it's crazy how much more powerful he is than everybody else. Usually, like, especially in the cartoons, the animated series, people do argue that Martian Manhunter can probably take him. But
not this one.
That look it up, man. That there are solid arguments.
I know, but like,
one fucking Martian Man, Batman will take Superman any day of the week.
So, like, him. Go ahead.
I was saying because you guys are more knowledgeable in the DC comic world aspect of it, but touching on that, how just fucking overpowered like Superman is, dude. Like, yeah, man, he just feels like his power level is over 9,000, compared to fucking everybody else. And in the comic books, is Superman just absolutely that much more powerful than Wonder Woman?
It's almost like he's always holding back. And there are stories where Wonder Woman is like, hey, you know what? I'm not holding back anymore. And like actually gives him a fight. But he, like the Injustice series, he tries to like say, hey, I'm not holding back. And then Superman's like, all right, cool. I'm not holding back either. And like completely annihilates her.
Gotcha. Because yeah, man, it just seems like, in the scene where they're trying to like, have him regain his memory, the way that he just fucking just floors and just absolutely tosses like Wonder Woman, it's kind of like.
Let's not forget in the comics that
he tosses Steppenwolf like nothing neither. He just like tosses them across the thing. Like.
He said not impressed. He didn't even get a cut.
Doomsday killed Superman.
He blew it frozen.
Doomsday only killed Superman because he had that kryptonite around him. That's literally the only reason. But that brings my final point of Darkseid is a little underwhelming. He got taken out by Zeus and Ares immediately. Like, he had to be carried out of the court. Like, oh,
that was a young naive. That was a young naive Darkseid, though.
I get it. Whatever. He was young, but go ahead, Nuno.
I was gonna say the same thing. He was like cocky. He was too cocky.
But he got taken out so fast, and like he got cut up pretty bad, just from that one fight. So it just tells me, like, if Darkseid would have stepped through that portal, Superman, that Darkseid would have fucked him up. That Superman versus that Darkseid, not a fight.
Yeah, but you saw the Omega beams. You saw the Omega beams.
You saw the
he got in that universe.
You saw his laser eyes or whatever. He
you would have shot it at Superman. Superman can't stop that.
But he can survive it.
Maybe in these new hippie comics that you guys are reading, but the good old comics back in the day, you get hit by Darkseid's lasers, you don't come back. You don't get transported to your alternate reality. You're gone. You're dead.
I'm pretty sure in the animated series, I may be wrong here, but Darkseid tried that, and Superman just closed his eyes, or not closed his eyes, but like just held his eyes like there, and so like Darkseid went blind or something. Like,
what?
Yeah, look it up.
Stop watching cartoons, Manny.
But that's
made for kids, man. That's made for kids.
That's definitely my final point, is that this Darkseid underwhelming compared to Superman's strength in this. That the way that they show Superman, that's not a fight at all. Superman's just going to push him back to the portal and say, go home, leave us alone. That's it. But Nuno, have you gone?
No, I haven't.
Finish it up.
But let me. I just got a few short points, nothing crazy. And you guys pretty much said everything that I was going to talk about. But literally, we rounded it out good. I just want to say, feel like Zack Snyder is always online talking shit, blabbing, how the studios don't let him do something. And he did he put out a great movie. He did. But dude, if you're going to be every single day talking on Instagram like you're a rapper and stuff, well, you better eat for days. It better be some crazy shit. And then, like, recently, like, he got online and said the studio ain't let him do, like, a mullet on Superman. They didn't let him do Lantern.
No. He said that he wanted to do the mullet and the beard. But he thought it'd be too much because of what's his name? Yes, because what's his name? Mission Impossible. Was it Mission Impossible he was doing the film? Because they wanted to do their long hair and the mullet, but they didn't want to add, and he knocked off Whedon pretty good. He goes, I didn't want to add it in with CGI and have another case scenario like we had the moustache. He thought about it and actually wanted to, but he decided last minute not to.
I feel like a mustache is very easy to grow. A little mullet is easy to grow. You can really film that up if you really want to. So I feel like he's given so many excuses for the movie really not delivering, because the movie really didn't deliver, besides making me watch 4 hours of Batman and Justice League.
Everyone's getting kicked after this video today. I'm telling you. I don't think we're going to have him fucking on the left.
Listen, I'm trying to tell you what you need to know, not what you want to hear. This is what you need to hear. You know, I know you don't want to hear it. It's an excellent movie. It set back the DC for them not to have dropped it about 5 years ago. We would have been way more ahead with the DC multiverse if they would have dropped it. I just had higher expectations because this motherfucker is always talking crazy online. So I thought it was going to be like some crazy shit. But it was really what I expected. A little better like graphics as far as it goes. They explored Darkseid a little bit, more of what's his name, Cyborg got explored a little bit more. We saw how his mechanism works on the brain and stuff. But like I said, I'm not bashing it. I'll give the movie 9 out of 10 without a doubt. I loved it, literally. But I just feel like for all the talking that's been going on and that's been done, we need better. Like, this is not what you promised, dog. This is what you promised 5 years ago, but 2021, this is not going to be working, bro. Like, like you guys said, Superman overpowered. Like, calm down, bro. Just like plot holes. I was like, he was like Forrest Gump, man, when he first doing like, it's horrible, man. I'm trying to tell you, it's horrible, man. But again, I want to say that I got 9 out of 10 for the entire series. I hope they continue.
Wait. Sorry, did you just say 9 out of 10 after just knocking it?
Yeah, but no. Listen, it's a great composition. It's a great composition, but my personal opinion doesn't really reflect what the movie did and how it was represented. Me personally, I want Wonder Woman to fly butt naked in the movie. Does that mean that it's not a 9 out of 10 because
that's because I wouldn't watch. I'd be only watching that scene. I wouldn't be watching anything else.
But like I said, so I have my opinions, but I mean, I have to agree with like the points you guys make too, and Matt. Like, you know me,
you pumped it up too much, mate. You pumped it up. You were before this was coming up. The week before, you kept hyping that it's gonna be the best. It's gonna be best, and you pumped yourself up too much, and we're let down. That's what's happened.
Yeah. So I respected everything that I watched, and that's why I said 9 out of 10, because the original I give like a 7.5. This one's like 8.59 for sure. But I just want to have my opinion on it, and I don't think that my opinion is always right. But you know, that's why
the opinions are right or wrong, mate.
They did a good job. I'm just picky. Exactly. But it's 9 out of 10 for me. He definitely pumped it up. You know what I mean? But
in the end,
that's it for me. I mean, you guys rounded it up very good.
One theory leading out of this, big theory, this is going to make headlines all around the world. We're going to get a crossover with Doctor Strange's multiverse.
That's not going to happen.
You heard it here first, guys.
You heard it here first.
I can't watch that guy. I can't watch Commissioner Gordon. That's the only problem. I see him, I'm like, nah, man, you're fucking, what's his name? Not Perry White, that's fucking, what's his name in Spider-Man's one?
JJ
Jonas. You're JJ Jonas. You're Jonas.
Hey, I wanted to say,
imagine they turn around and go, hey guys, fucking, you know what? Let's make a movie together. We can use the multiverse madness to fucking bring it in.
Yo, and I just wanted to say this because I just remembered, and like one thing I don't appreciate is why I think people love the dream sequence and some people didn't like it, because it's like a knockoff of Injustice, like the literal game. Like Lois Lane got blown up by the Joker or something. She's all burnt. Darkseid is like, and my wife was saying, why would Darkseid even befriend Superman? He's a threat to him. He would take care of Superman when he could. Like, while he's down, take care of him. But he wouldn't make him an ally. Darkseid would take care of Superman as well. You know what I mean? But I just felt like it was very sloppy too. They copied it, like Injustice 2 all the way.
That's the whole point. It's you know what I mean? Like Marvel fucking copied Civil War. They copied all the comics. Like Injustice is probably the most popular comic book, but it's a comic game as well. It's popular and people would have loved it.
But Injustice isn't like cemented in DC mythology. Injustice is just something that a game geek was typing up all night and said, I want to make a cool game. And he says, whoa.
No, it was actually Tom Taylor writing a fucking brilliant book, and then they created a game. Brilliant book written by Tom Taylor. Get your facts right before you fucking
Tom King or Tom Taylor?
No, Tom Taylor wrote the comics first.
We're about to find out. Quick Google.
Don't Google it.
I'm going to Google it.
Like an idiot.
And then they do the Game first. So there was a geek somewhere typing all this stuff up. No wonder, bro. And he was like, what would be cool? Let's give all the heroes these crazy futuristic armors where they got like these pads and these visors. And guess what? Superman is going to be a tyrant with red eyes.
Oh, Nuno had a bad weekend. Didn't go Falcon and Winter
Overall, though, to finish it up, I think that we can always come to the agreement that that the Snyder Cut was an absolute marvelous improvement over the Whedon cut. And
mate, and a fucking 4-year-old could have drawn something on crayon better than fucking Whedon's one.
Is
Whedon is the Marvel guy now, right?
Nah, he was Marvel. He made Age of Ultron, and then that's why they got him over to lighter tone the Justice League. They wanted to go the Marvel route.
So he was a Marvel guy, tried DC, didn't work out as well, and now he's a nobody.
Nah, he might get a job now. Not after Justice League.
I mean, overall, though, like, the Whedon cut to me was, I mean, that movie was fucking garbage, absolutely unwatchable. And now the Snyder cut, dude, like, it's a good movie.
Do you feel sorry for Whedon though? Because, like, did he have enough time to fucking make his own image? Like, if that's a fact, they should have just scrapped Zack's completely and delayed the movie by a year or two and let him do his creation from start. Okay, so I guess, you know what I mean, playing doctor's advocate, whatever you want to call it, like, you know what I mean, like, I guess we can knock him like I do, but he decided to change it. He should have just kept it, and maybe that was it.
You don't know how to pick good scenes, man.
Because the start of that film with the fucking Superman was fucking woeful. At least the start of this film, when they explained everything about the mother boxes and explained everything, you know what I mean? And what didn't open up with fucking the Superman and then Batman killing parademons, and you're like, what the fuck? Like, already, like, what the fuck? At least explain how they came to Earth, how they done all that. He should have done the first 15 minutes.
Justice League starts with Batman in Gotham trying to, like, lure a parademon, right? Yeah. He like has somebody hanging, and the parademon tries to grab him, and he lifts him up and captures a parademon.
Yeah.
Overall, like, the fact that context was provided to this movie is the best improvement that could have happened to the Snyder Cut. You know, so overall, I think that it would have been nice to have seen Snyder, you know, fulfill his trilogy. But at this point, even with the Snyder Cut out, I personally just think that DC, man, I hate reboots, but you know, and I fucking hate all of the crises in, you know, that DC has done in the comic books, but I think that DC overall needs a serious fucking reboot when it comes to their, you know, cinematic universe. And I know that they're gonna, you know, try and somehow bring it all together. The shows, maybe, you know, the movies, but I don't know, man. I just think that they need a new game plan, because even though the Snyder Cut was good, I think that objectively you can say that their film slates have been subpar at best, and they've just been mixed. You know, like there's no real vision, and of course, you know, I'm definitely, you know, biased, because at the end of the day, I enjoy Marvel more, but I think that objectively you can say that if you were thinking of, you know, the DC cinematic universe and the Marvel universe in terms of a business plan, DC doesn't have a very good business plan. They just don't, and you can just look at box office numbers, you know, while looking at anything else, and at the end of the day, numbers and data speak for themselves. And
Aquaman and Shazam and Wonder Woman, the first one, did all good at the box office.
Yeah, sure, but again, I'm talking about when you look at the business plan overall, like, what is the real future? What is the real vision? What is, you know, what is the mission statement of DC? You can't really put that into words, you know.
The suits, mate, the suits, and I think that's after this. Now, I think finally, DC and HBO Max and Time Warner, fucking AT&T, are going to turn around and say, "Listen, Warner Brothers, you let the directors do what the fuck they want to do, and stop fucking getting involved." Because that's what the problem is. It's the suits.
I mean, you know, hopefully, I don't know. I'm just making the observation that you know, both in terms of, you know, Marvel movies and DC movies, we're going on what, fucking 15 years now, right? Yeah. I mean, is that fair to say? We're going on 15 years of, you know, trying to really create these universes. And it feels like DC is still fucking, you know, trying to get off like first base, man. I mean, I don't know.
No, they're still stuck in the fucking in the ballpin, mate. They're not even on first base to get up yet. I think they're gonna with AT&T now with HBO Max. I think they're gonna have a Snyderverse on HBO Max. I think the Flashpoint's gonna reset everything. It's gonna bring all the films like Keaton's Batman, all that. I think we're gonna wait for Flashpoint, and then that's gonna be their decision of what they're fucking doing. I think they're gonna reset it.
Just making movies.
I wish you were right, and I want to be as optimistic as you are about that. But like the Flashpoint is gonna be a shit show because they're doing it way too early.
Might be, bro.
I'll watch it. I'm gonna watch it.
Flash film was meant to come out 2020. It was meant to be out last year.
Exactly.
By 2022, we're meant to have a whole new the next phase.
And look, this is the thing. From day one, I have always said, dude, I am rooting for fucking DC movies. Like, I want DC movies to be good. Like, all of them. I want them to fucking succeed. Like, I really do. I don't believe in knocking down DC or knocking down Marvel because you like one or the other. No, man, not at all. I really am rooting for fucking DC, but the truth is they haven't earned the trust, I think, of their fan base, of just comic book and general audience. I don't think that they've earned
the loyalty.
I think I think the Batman's obviously going to be a standalone, but if they're going to continue with like Jason Momoa's Aquaman, Shazam, that's all still in the same universe. Like, I think they just go forward with making all these films, right? But not trying to push them. Like we know they all exist. Like all the heroes exist in that universe. And just maybe have characters appear cameos on each movies. Don't do the whole Justice League film again. Don't. If you're going to do a Justice League film, do it, fucking maybe 5-6 years' time. But I think they need to just do all the solo films. Everything exists everything exists in the same universe. But, until we get man... I think we're fucked with this universe. Unless they're going to do the Matt Reeves Batman and it's going to reboot everything, if that does good, I don't know. They don't know what they're doing. The one good thing was that was the only good thing from Josh Whedon. The hologram DVD, and then it comes with like artwork.
To Carlos' point,
that's the only good thing come out of Whedon's. So I'm not knocking Whedon's completely.
To Carlos's point is like DC keeps doing phase 1, phase 2, phase 1, phase 2, phase 1, phase 2, and they just reset.
Yeah,
they cannot hit that phase 3 where everything comes together. They just aren't organized enough. They just keep what's a good idea, let's do it, and it is a good idea. That doesn't mean you should do it. Like the Batman, Matt Reeves, I'm probably gonna love that movie, but it's not a good idea because if you're trying to establish a universe, it's not a good idea to make.
Well, the same as the Joker film. That wasn't a good idea. Brilliant film.
It's a great film, exactly, great film. But I mean, why are you gonna establish this Joker? It's gonna be an amazing Joker, and you're not even gonna use him. It was from day one. You knew that he was only gonna make this one movie, but Joaquin Phoenix said, "I'm not going to be the Joker anymore after this standalone." So why even do it? If you're trying to follow MCU's plan, if you're just trying to make a bunch of DC movies and you're not even worried about connecting them, keep doing what you're doing and stop trying to connect them, and they would be more successful.
Exactly. Stop trying to connect them. Like, dude, you hit the nail on the head, and that's the problem. I feel like they can't fucking decide. Again, the whole business plan thing. They can't decide.
Nah, they can't do it with the fucking comics, man. The comics, they fucking rebooting every fucking 3-4 years.
Carlos said it's a one shot. So every movie is a one shot, like a comic book. But
that's a fair point. Fair point.
Makes sense.
And outside, like they do you just look at that. Like the Matt Reeves Batman is one of those, Tom Taylor Outworld deceased kind of thingos.
I think my final point on this.
They'll get this. I'll eventually get. It's not going to happen tomorrow, but I think Warner Brothers will eventually get their shit together.
My final point on the whole Zack Snyder Justice League is that it was a good movie. It was definitely, like, if they would have split it up to 2 movies, it would have been great. It would have been amazing. But in the end, all these things that they set up, they're not going to go anywhere, and so therefore it's cheap. I'm left wanting and that sucks. And while it was amazing and everything that they set up was amazing, it's not, unless they say, oh, you know what, everyone's calling for Snyderverse. Everyone called for the Snyder Cut. Now they're calling for Snyderverse, and it actually does pay off. Great, but I don't feel like
I watched an interview with him, and he said, and there was that Tyro Magnus guy, and he asks him, he goes, mate, could we be seeing Snyderverse? Would they said to you, are we going to get the Snyderverse? He said, listen, never say never. I'm not going to answer that question, but let's never say never. I think something is going. I think we're going to get it. I really do think after this, we're going to get it, and it's not going to be the version you guys said about Jonathan Kent and all that shit becoming Batman. We'll change it because there's no point in making that version because everyone knows it. But I really do, after this, let's be honest, it's so much better to put not complete faith into the market of it, but it's better than where they're at now. You know what I mean? Like, it shows one step forward. You know what I mean? Like, bringing it out and not going through with it, to me, is taking 2 steps back. I think they'll do it. If they gave us the Snyder Cut, why would they spend an extra $80 million on this film not to, you know what I mean? Like, you got to make that extra $80 million in people buying it on streaming services. Fuck, I signed up to a service. They gave me 12 days free. I cancelled it the moment I watched it. So I got it for free. You know what I mean? Like, say, you're going to spend $80 million on this film and not have plan for it. You know what I mean? Like, you wouldn't spend that money.
I hope you're right. And I really do hope you're right. I can't wait to watch that movie 10 years from now. That's what's going to happen. You know, they're going to say, yeah, we're going to do it. And 10 years from now, we'll have a Snyderverse. But.
And that's what I mean when I say a business plan. You know, like, if they do end up deciding that they're going to do the Snyderverse, dude, like, DC and AT&T, they wasted 5 fucking years, man, or 4 years. Sorry, I don't really remember, but I think that it's been like
it's been about 8 years since like Batman, Man of Steel, right? Or Batman v Superman. I think it's bad.
Yeah, but I mean since the first Justice League movie, it's been 40 years maybe. I don't know,
5 years, yeah,
fucking 5 years. So again, man, like 5 years you wasted, and now let's say that they do go with the Snyderverse. For you to pump out the movie, dude, we're not going to see this movie for 3 fucking years. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, but
all in all, it was a good movie.
Yeah, good movie. Yeah. Good movie, guys. Good movie. So
Deathstrike. I want a Batman v Deathstrike.
That's it. Oh yeah, you know what? None of us talked about Jesse Eisenberg being. It was the same thing. It was the same scene.
Shit, man. I mean, you know,
something to help you. Like he puts more of a Joker voice on than fucking Jared Leto does, mate.
Jared Leto was horrible, bro. Like,
I did say
like he was just slobbing on.
We're moving on from him, mate. We're talking about Jesse.
I will say when I watched Batman versus Superman, Jesse Eisenberg, I kept thinking, man, his red hair, he'd be perfect Joker. Even though red hair, green hair, whatever. But Jesse Eisenberg, I feel like would be a great Joker. The way he talks, the way he acts, how skinny he is.
Nah,
Riddler too. But
Riddler.
But he was not Lex Luthor. Yeah, exactly. I think
he's small, like, you know, man, Lex Luthor, you know, man, he's small. Like, I'm not saying he'll be big and strong, but Luthor, you know, Luthor walks into a room, has presence about him.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Has a presence. I don't feel like he's that smart businessman when he walks in the room and you feel intimidated by him. That's the problem. When I read Luthor in comics and that, he's intimidating when he walks in the room, man. He's a strong businessman, you know what I mean?
What's that guy's name from Kingsman? Merlin. In Kingsman, he's Merlin. Have you guys watched Kingsman at all? The first or the second one?
Fucking
Mark Strong?
Baltimore?
No, Mark Strong. I think that's his name.
Mark Strong, yeah.
I think he could do a good like.
Dude, real quick, as awful as Green Lantern was, he was a fucking amazing Sinestro.
He was Sinestro?
Oh, who, the guy from Shazam? Yeah. The Shazam guy? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's the villain in Shazam. Yeah.
Exactly.
I forgot about that.
He's a fucking doctor or whatever. Question or whatever.
Never mind. He can't be Lex Luthor now because he was in Shazam. Never mind. All right. Anyways, well, then in that case, if no one has anything else to say, if you made it this far, please give us that follow. You know, you already made it this far. You obviously enjoy what you're listening to. Give us that follow on Twitch.
Clearly see something you like.
Right?